Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, and as you know from today's video, I've returned back from the US. I want to tell you all about what I've been up to there, show you a little bit of the dealer room in Wonderfest. I am aware that I've showed you the competition room, I haven't shown you the dealer room yet. Just show you some of the items that I've brought back with me, which are going to feature on the channel shortly. So stay tuned and check this out. Okay, to say that I've had 2 weeks in a bubble in what can only be described as a completely unreal world. I'm still trying to process it in my mind. The amount of things that we've done in the last 2 weeks, that's myself, Mrs. World of Wayne, Mrs. Spruverse and Spruverse Phil Siegel himself, has just been unbelievable. And then coupled with the fact that we got to meet Lou in North Carolina as well was just the icing on the cake. But I've had an absolutely amazing time, and I'm sure it's going to take a few weeks to actually comprehend what I've been through. But let me take this opportunity to thank. I'm going to get emotional, so I'm going to be strong. Thank Mrs. Spruverse and Phil Spruverse for making this 2 weeks absolutely amazing. I couldn't thank you enough. I wouldn't even know where to begin to start, but it's been one of the most amazing experiences of my life, and I want to share that with the world now, which is what I'm going to do. So basically, we left Heathrow Airport a couple of weeks ago and landed in Washington, and the first thing we did when we left Washington, or landed in Washington, was book into the hotel, and then we went straight out and took a journey around to the Lincoln Memorial. We saw the Washington Monument, we saw the reflection pool, and then we had a lovely dinner. And then the next day we went to the Dulles Space Museum, where we saw the SR-71, the space shuttle, the Enola Gay. There was just loads there. What an amazing place that was. That in itself would have been a holiday, but we don't stop there, because then we took a beeline to Mount Vernon. If you've watched National Treasure, Mount Vernon was featured in that. And this is the birthplace of George Washington. Was it the birthplace? It's where he lived. So he's buried there as well. So that's where you can find George Washington. But that was an amazing place as well. And then my brother happened to be with his wife and family in Washington, which was surreal. They're watching a Coldplay concert. We also managed to meet up with them too. So saying goodbye to my family, we left Washington and then we travelled to Colonial Williamsburg. And this is a place unto itself. It's a living history place. So we had a lovely hotel just off-site. It might have been on site, I can't remember. But all I knew is that we walked across the road, which was like present day. And as soon as we got to the other side of the road, we were in 1778 onwards, I believe it was. And we could just see how they used to live, from leather workers, tanners. There was loads. It's an amazing place. It's very tranquil as well. As a matter of fact, it's a place I'd love to go back to if I go to America again, definitely. We drove all the way to North Carolina and we stayed in Raleigh, and that's where we got to meet Lou. Now, if you haven't seen Phil's or Spruverse's video of Lou's man cave, it's up here. But we saw Lou one night, then we stayed overnight in Raleigh, and then we joined Lou again the next night. And just chewed the fat on what we're going to be doing with a time machine. It was the first time I've ever seen hummingbirds, and it's the first time I saw fireflies as well. So absolutely amazing. So Lou, if you're watching this, thank you for making us feel so welcome, and thank you for your North Carolina hospitality. I really do feel like I've actually visited the real North Carolina, and I had an absolutely great time. It's definitely on my list to return back to, because there's so much more to explore there. So once we said our goodbyes to Lou, I think Lou was heading off and driving to Louisville. We drove to Charlotte, so I got to see Charlotte metropolitan area, quite built up a little bit like London, but I did see the Carolina Panthers stadium, so I enjoyed that. Been spotting these NFL stadiums all over the place. Then we got a flight from Charlotte all the way to Louisville. And it's in Louisville where obviously the Wonderfest convention was going on. Now, if you haven't seen my video of the competition room, I have put a link up here and you can watch that over on the channel. I think it's got about 30,000 views at the moment, so it's doing really well. But the entries there, I mean, that's only what I strive to be. Some of the artistry in there is amazing, and I'm glad Lou won a gold as well for his Star Trek transporter that you'll see in that video as well. What you didn't see though is the dealer area, so I've got a little bit of video here just to with some accompanying music. I won't be talking over it, just to show you what sort of things were going on in the dealer area. Now, a big thing that I had, or I noticed, was some of the 1/6 scale vehicles. Now, what I'm going to do is I've met one of the investors for this company, and I'm going to let him speak for yourself. But check out the Batmobile, the Batwing. I mean, these are massive vehicles, and they are absolutely brilliant. And this is something that hopefully you'll be able to get soon. This is coming soon.
Hi, I'm Mike Studelberg. I work with Yost that runs JazzInc. We just trying to show you the 1966 Batmobile. Very limited production. These are hand-done art pieces, and these run about $1,500. And I wanted to show you a couple of features. You've got the light-up features. This little remote control. It plugs in so you don't have to have batteries like you watch the dash lights. This little remote, you could have it in a case, turn the features on and off. You've got tail lights, you've got the flame. If you don't want the flame, you pop it off, it's magnetic. You just put it right back on. Has cloth parachutes in the back. On the deluxe version, the seats are actually covered in leather. There's carpeting on the floor. Rubber tires. If you take a look at the tires, you can see the valve stems on the rims. These are the actual, the true to the radar rims that were on the car. You've got the bat phone inside that's blinking. All of the electronics are designed so that the lights are blinking in the fashion that they did on the show. He had special circuit boards made so that all of the light patterns and everything are indicative of the show. This is the first of these cars that has made it out of the Netherlands, which is where they're being produced. No one else has seen one of these in person, other than the guys he's working with to do some of the prototyping. And I venture to say that there is no copy of this car that is as accurate as this one. This has been labored over for 2.5 years. These are the Hot Toys figures that they were really designed to be coupled with. I haven't done this for anybody else, but since you guys are filming very quickly, these Hot Toys figures were designed, or the car was designed to accommodate these figures so that you can put the figures in the car.
And they fit perfectly.
Oh yeah.
And how much was this going to be?
This car about $1,500. It'll probably be about. I'm making numbers up here, but I would say there will be a handful of a couple hundred of these made, maybe 300 cars. I really don't know the answer to that, but these will be very limited. Once they're produced, they won't be produced again.
One run and that's it.
One run, and I think the values of these will double very quickly. I think these will become very collectible and very desirable.
And as you can see, it's not just the Batmobile. You've got the Tumbler here, and this JazzInc have got all of these 1/6 scale things. Even look at the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Now, in a later video, you'll see that glass surround has been taken off, but this is what it looks like from the back. And again, the detail. There's the Batwing. This was hanging up behind where Mike was just talking there, with the figure inside, as you can see there. The Sand Speeder, looking like that. They are awesome models. Batman with the signal there. And again, this is all through JazzInc. Now, in the video description, I'll make sure that I put the JazzInc link. So by all means, check them out. But I just want to personally thank Mike for just taking some time out there just to tell me about these models. But I'm sure you'll be impressed, as I was. That's with the Millennium Falcon there with the shroud off. And once again, another one of the Tumbler. Now, in addition to that, obviously meeting a load of you who are watching this channel at Wonderfest, I was only too happy to speak to you all, and I'm hoping that most of you bumped into me who recognise me. I did also get to meet Oggy Gonzalez from Interstellar Models, and Ken Spriggs as well. And we all went out to dinner. We, as you can see here in a picture here. In fact, while we were in Louisville, we also went to the House of Bourbon. And we had a bourbon tasting, and bourbon, I'll get it right, English language. And we also went to, I think it was called the Old Spaghetti Factory, was that it? Something like that. And we met Paul from Paragraphics there as well. I had a lovely meal in Louisville there. So, I mean, this is just a whirlwind. I'm just reading it back in my mind and processing it while I'm talking to you. But just meeting the community. I'm in my element with that, and I'm sure that Phil and Lou would say the same thing, because we just had an amazing time in Louisville. And unfortunately, on the Monday, we had to say our goodbyes at 6 o'clock in the morning. I also had to say my goodbyes to Mrs. Welderwayne because she couldn't stay the final week. So she went back to Chicago and back home. Much tears were had, and I know she missed me big time. But I flew out with Phil to LA. Now, to do that, we had to get to Dallas. And the funny thing is, we went to Dallas Fort Worth, which I'm telling you is the biggest airport I've ever seen. It's ginormous, so big, you need trains to go between the terminals, which is a nightmare. Now, we landed and we had 20 minutes to get from where we landed to our new terminal. And I think we made it just as the board was switching over for the boarding call, which was crazy because we had to get on a train to do that. But we got on a plane to LA, landed in LA, and we went back to Phil's place, as you've seen in our live stream. So I've seen his workshop, and I've seen all his models, and I'm telling you what, he doesn't do justice. His models are absolutely amazing. And when Phil says he's got a shelf, what he means is he's got a display unit with lots of shelves, and he's got loads of absolute awesome models there. And I'm going to show you some of these here. I don't know if he knows I've taken pictures of it. I was so impressed. I had to share them because they're brilliant. And then I got to visit the real LA. So I went to Universal Orlando. That was a brilliant day. I went to the Peterson Museum, and you've probably seen on my social media some of the pictures where I got to see the Batmobile, the DeLorean. I got to see the Dodge Charger at Universal. I mean, there was loads. Lewis Hamilton's F1. Memories. Oh, I'm telling you, absolutely brilliant. We went to some amazing restaurants. I saw what I like to think the real LA. We're through Beverly Hills. Saw the Dolby Theatre where the Oscars are. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm just reminiscing again. But I wanted to share that with you, and I'm sure you can see how I'm more relaxed. I'm more relaxed, but if anything, this experience has taught me is, one, that always interact with the community, because there's always ideas you get from everybody. In fact, this stream I'm doing for you now is actually on a suggestion of Phil, where I am now live on an ATEM link. So a Blackmagic is actually a video switcher. So when I go live now, not only can I have this camera that you know when I build now, but I've also got these cameras as well. This camera here as well. So that camera and that camera and that camera and this camera. So live streams are just going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get cracking on that. But I also bought stuff as well. So let me show you, by switching over the cameras, exactly what I bought. So the first thing I got was from Pegasus Hobbies. Quite a simple kit this is, although this is already copper coloured. It's Pegasus Models version of the War of the Worlds. My plans are to light the eye and the wings up, and also to light up this section as well. It's on a stand. If I show you the side here, which looks like the... that's how much it was. You can see how much it was, which has got the weld on there. That's something that I'm going to be building on the channel. Now, I got that from Burbank House of Hobbies. So I believe Phil got one of these as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we tackle that one. So that's the first thing. The second thing that was lost in the post for a while, and it's ginormous, so I'm going to have to switch the camera back and just show you this way, is I finally got the Mobius models. Just trying to find it there. Of the Ares 1B. Now, this has already been done on Ken Spriggs' channel. It's also been done on Aztec Dummies' channel, and Phil's also done it on the Spruverse channel. It looks amazing. I can't wait to get cracking on this and doing my own sort of thing in there. So you will notice that a lot of my channel stuff is kit-wise or garage kit-wise. Now, I do want to dedicate a day to when I'm doing kits and when I'm doing garage kits or resin models and stuff like that, as well as part work builds. And then that way, we can increase the community capture, and I'm hoping I'm appealing to different parts of the community by doing that. But my pride and joy is an American Wealth in London. Now, this sculpt, as you can see here, is by Bill Weiger, the guy who did Jaws, the orca behind me, and also the shark that we had in resin, which if you look at this picture or this little video, this is Phil's shark in resin, which I think is his best model. He needs an award. He needs an award for that, because that model buried mine. So when it comes to the Spruverse challenge, for that one, Phil definitely won that challenge. I'm telling you, it's a brilliant model, and it makes a good garden planter as well. But I'm going to show you the sculpt of this. I'm just going to take out some choice sections here. This is one of the legs, and if you check out the detail of those claws there, you can get an idea of how this model is going to be coming along. This is brilliant. And then I'm going to show you the head, which is here. Oh no, that's another claw. I don't know what I've got here actually. This is the body. Let me just get that out, because the body's not really got much detail on it. Well, it has, apart from the is this another leg? No, this is the head. Check this out. This is great. Go. Look at that. Can't wait to get painted. Now the body detail matches that. So got that here. Just undo this. As you can see, I'm checking this because obviously this was in my pack luggage, so it had to survive the plane. It looks undamaged. I was more worried about the claws here on the but they're unbroken. This is your body here. Let me just switch camera. You can see, look at the detail there. What an amazing sculpt this is. And that's pretty much that. I've just got the front legs, and in this little bag here are the teeth. Let me just show you the front legs. Just make sure again they're all perfect. Look at that. The claws have survived, and this is the tail. So didn't even realise that the werewolf had a tail. I was actually eyeing that up when I first saw it at the convention, and they all sold out on the stall that had it, but I did know another stall that had it. And I think if you saw my other video, I kind of turned the box around. Hopefully no one saw me, and they didn't buy it, so I bought it on the last day and I managed to get it. So I've got a resin kit. Phil's managed to give me one of Randy Cooper's resin kits of the Thunder Road, so I'm going to be tackling that as well. So that's 1, 2, the Aries 3, Waterworld's 4. I've got 2 SR71s to build, so let's say that's 5 and 6. And I do also have some stuff that was delivered when I came back from my used store and Sterling kit, which is going to be on the channel soon. So there's no shortage of stuff to build in the channel, but I'm hoping I've just gave you a little peep of what's been going on in 2 weeks, and to realise what an amazing time I've had. So once again, thank you, Phil. Personally, thank you so much for that. Thank you to the community to make me so welcome over in America, and I'm hoping to see you at Louisville next year. So there you go. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.